Right, so this is my sports psychology outcome 2 assessment, obviously by me, Lee McMahon. Basically, it's just discussing the key components for sports psychology. And yeah, so the introduction is basically just, don't want to do it word for word, but it's just, we're going to cover a variety of psychological factors. So the four that will be in the presentation will be anxiety, concentration, confidence, and team cohesion. And basically it's just going to be a description of how to improve, enhance and manage all the components for using coaching strategies. So the first component on this slide here, which is slide 3, will be anxiety. We'll have two coaching strategies for each component. So the first coaching strategy for anxiety, here we've got awareness. So basically just being aware of like your skill set, people around you, stuff like that. So and that will help reduce anxiety because stuff like, if you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you'll know what to expect. So for example, you could work on something and know it's a strength, and you'll know that'll be, like, for example, if it's football, let's say it's tackling and you're a defender, you'll know that's your strength. So you will know that you'll be confident in yourself, and the anxiety won't be there because of your confidence. But it goes for the weaknesses as well. So let's say if you're aware of any weaknesses, you'll put the time in to improve them and make them a strength, and that will help reduce anxiety before the pre-match. Also, being aware, as it says here in the bullet point, being more aware of the demand of the task. So if you know it's a big game, let's say it's a cup final for example in football, you'll know you have to perform to your best, and knowing that will help reduce anxiety, because you know you have to be working hard, not just for you but for the team, to get a good result. And also managing to control and be aware of thoughts, emotions and behaviours. So that's stuff like, if you know you're an emotional player, you might be thinking before a big game, I can get quite rash when I get riled up, or my emotions get ahead of me. So if you know that you can work on that and lower it, your anxiety will having the awareness of that will help prevent any pre-match anxiety before the big game. So when this strategy would work well, it's actually this slide here, which is slide 6. So I put this strategy would work well when a pre-match team talk. So let's say you're a coach, if you inform your athletes of like their strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, it will help lower the anxiety before a game. However, it could, on the flip side though, it could also make them feel more anxious, as more pressure could be put on them to achieve the same thing again. Like, they know what they can achieve. Some athletes don't like team talk before a big game, they like to be calm. And I referenced that from Coach Logic, which was published in 2017. There'll be a reference page at the end also. So the second coaching strategy for anxiety is simple relaxation methods. So being able to relax before big matches will help your performance. Just like if you're anxious before a game, taking the time out to, like, for example, a relaxation method can be just deep breaths. If you're taking your time out to do that, it will help reduce anxiety. Some people might think it's a waste of time, but from experience I know that it can actually help. So as it says here, relaxation methods can help reduce anxiety, and while doing so also help with concentration. Also, obviously concentration is one that we'll come on to. And then I referenced that from Podium Sport, which was published in 2016, as again there'll be a reference page at the end. So when the strategy would work well, for a big match, taking your time to relax yourself and help with your anxiety, and again it just help with concentration. So if you're, again, kind of similar to the first strategy, before a big game, just if you're taking the time out to calm yourself, it will help. It will help reduce the anxiety that you might be feeling. So moving on to the next component, which we'll hear is confidence. Again, there'll be for this one, a strategy and a theory to help back it up. So the strategy is achievable aims. So know what aims are achievable and what aims aren't will help build up confidence with an athlete. They'll know what to work towards. So what I mean by that is, if someone knows that an aim is achievable, to put the time into it, they'll be confident in their ability. They won't, and it's the same if they think at some stage an aim might not be achievable, they won't take the time to go for it, if that makes sense. Let's say you're just a player starting out, and your aim is to win the league, for example. That's not achievable, so they won't put in the time to do that. But if they know something that is achievable, they'll be confident in their ability. So as it says here, principles of strategy, just ensuring the aim is achievable. This one's quite good. This one's quite important. Setting smaller goals, so eventually you'll get to that main aim. So that will help build confidence. For example, if you're an established player, let's say your main aim is to win the league. So let's say it's a 36 game season. By 18 games in, a smaller goal could be 18 games to be top of the league halfway through the season. And again, that'll help. That'll give you confidence. If you're top of the league by halfway through the season, that you can go on and replicate the first half of the season and perform well. It'll give you the confidence. So setting a time date for them to be achieved. Example here, end of a football season, as I just said there. Well, if your aim is to win the league, then obviously the time scale will be by the end of the league. But it says here, informing the athlete of their past performances. So that actually links in with the self-efficacy theory and something we talked about before with anxiety as well. So informing the athlete of the next performance and informing that their aims are achievable. So if we look at the self-efficacy theory here, I just wonder if I can zoom in. Actually can. Performance outcome. So basically, without reading that word for word, that is just directing your athletes to past performances. So again, for choose a different example instead of football, if you're like a volleyball player and you've won a tournament and you're in the final of that tournament again, informing them of the past performance outcome will help build their confidence. And if you're an athlete, telling yourself that you've been there, done it before, that will help build your confidence. So what I just said here about the self-efficacy theory will help athletes build their confidence as they can reflect on past performances. This will help build their athletes build towards their aims. And the reference is Simply Psychology, which is the article was published in 2020 on the website. So when the strategy would work well, so this is the achievable aims part. This would work well during training sessions. So let's say if you're having a training session and it's football, and you're taking, you're with them in the training, just letting them know about what they should be aiming for based on their ability, as it says here. Because when you're at training, you can actually see what they're doing. I can just build in that confidence, giving them that self-confidence that they can put in the effort to make those aims. So going into concentration now. The first coaching strategy is short instructions. Short instructions and time of practices. I put it in the one slide here because as you will see, it kind of fits in with what I'm about to say. So ensuring that when you're giving an athlete instructions, not going for too long, as athletes may be focused. May lose focus. So if you're going for too long when it's a training session, or even just repeating the same training session, it can get boring. They'll lose motivation. They can lose focus easily. And again, that's the same for time of practices, so demonstrations. We're doing the same demo week in, week out. It can get very, very boring. Not intentionally, but it just can get boring. And then you lose focus. So the strategy principles would be giving clear and short instructions would ensure that your athlete has a clear understanding of what is being asked of them. So if you're keeping it short and concise, it will go into the athlete's head quicker. They'll know um, they'll just remember it easier because it's not like a long instruction you're giving them. Short instructions can also help group discussion. So if you're in a group and the group's working, let's say if it's football, it's a team of forwards and you want your forwards to replicate what each other are doing, doing it in a group, it'll be quicker, it'll be more concise, they'll know what they have to do instead of rambling on. And again, just at the bottom here it says some athletes will lose focus easily when instructions go on for too long. This highlights the importance of giving short instructions. And I got this round from WGU, which was published in 2017. So when a strategy would work well, I've used football as an example here. So let's say it's like I've said that it would work on the game of football. Let's say if it's in a game and it's early on, Kevin, and you notice like maybe your midfielder isn't tracking the runner, giving short instructions, like that's what you have to do. Like you can't have a conversation with them with the point. It has to be short and concise, and they'll take it in easier, and it will lead to them being more effective. They'll probably be more effective, and then making them more concentrated, more concentrated on picking up the runner because the instruction that you're given is short and concise. It's not going on for too long. So moving on to team cohesion. I'll say team cohesion is important for team sports. So the first strategy that we went with is team talks. And then just give a definition of what a team talk is here. It's to make the team more feel more together, just being a group of individual players. So you don't want a group of single talented players. You want people that are going to work hard for you and be a team. But the strategy principles, obviously they're important for team cohesion. The better team you are, the more cohesive you'll be. And then just when you're giving team talks, you want to ensure that everyone is involved to feel more like a team. You don't want to leave anyone out, because you need everyone to be a team. You don't want to leave anyone out. And like it just says here, if a team is more cohesive, it results in better performances. So obviously, if a squad of players and football's got team cohesion, they're going to be a better player. And a way to do that is by effective and productive team talks. So you don't want your team talks to be focused on the one player. Like maybe you've got a star player, you give the ball to him. You want everyone to be involved. You want to get everyone motivated to put out a performance. And then I got some of that information from Applied Sport, which was published in 2017. So when the strategy would work well, a team talk would work well in like two areas of football. I've used football as an example again. So it'll be before the game and then at half time. So maybe if it's a big game in the league, a cup final, whatever it might be, you want to hype up that team. You want to make them remember that they're a team and they're very cohesive, and a team talk can do that. What I've just said here is it'll lead to motivated players, but more important, make them feel together. This will result in a better team performance. As I said before, it's just getting that team motivated, not just not leaving anyone out, making sure the full 11's motivated, or the full squad. So the second strategy for team cohesion is peer support. So peer support is important when you're in a squad. Whatever sport, you'll have friends, you'll have peers, and you want to support them. As I said, the aim of peer support is to help other players by listening to problems and issues. And kind of importantly, this can be outside and inside the sport. So let's say football, someone's struggling with a shooting. That'll be an inside sport example. You can help them, but just talk to them, motivate them, help them get their confidence back. Outside the sport, maybe like if you're close to someone, they know that they're going through a hard time, and just give them that support. Like just making sure, checking up on them, making sure they're alright. They're not going, because they'll be going through a tough time if it's outside the sport mainly. Strategy principles. When supporting other peers, it will have a big impact on how they perform in training. So again, let's say if you're motivating a striker, you're talking to them, you're giving them your peer support. And if they take it incorrectly and they don't take it in a bad way, they take it in the right way, they'll just be more effective in training and in games. again, with outside, maybe if they're not motivated to come in, if you can just support them to come into training, to believe in their ability, again, it would be better in training and in a match situation. As it says here, it will help them perform better in game scenarios. Peer support can also help self-esteem. Again, just building that confidence that from a coach, and it can be with coaches as well. It doesn't just have to be with players. Maybe your coaching partner is having a rough time, just motivate them to get in if they're comfortable, of course. Give them the confidence and letting them know that they are a good coach and stuff like that. Again, reference this information, I got some of it from Sun Corp, which is published in 2016. So when this strategy would work well, basically what I've said here, if it would put it word for word, it would just be any time. Whenever you see your athletes, giving them peer support will be important. It will contribute to them being part of a team and also improve their performance. So they don't even have to be showing them. They don't have to be showing you like negative things. Just supporting them and just being there for them will help more than you actually might notice. So it'll just be important for them. It can be at any time, whether it's in training, in a game scenario, a night out even, just anywhere, when you're with them, just supporting them, whether it's inside the sport or outside the sport. So this is a reference page here, but the first reference page even, that's the first one. Reference page 2 is here, and then the last reference page is here. So if I go back up to the top, basically just to finish off, it's the whole point in this was to show how important psychological factors are in football. Them being team cohesion, anxiety, concentration and confidence. And I've talked about how you can manage them, enhance them, and improve on them to make sure that your athlete or yourself is in a better mindset, psychological mindset. So yeah, that's it, finished.